And we are live. What's up, everybody? How is it going? Austin prechtelevate Performance, coming at you live today. As everybody starts to tune in, I am joined by my client, Leah. Leah is a badass. Go ahead and say hi, Leah. Feel free to introduce yourself, give the audience a bit of a backstory as to who you are. How old are you? Like, what do you do right now for work? And where let's just go from there. Let's just start from the beginning.
Absolutely. So, like Austin said, my name is Leah. I'm 27 years old. I am a part-time Starbucks barista. I'm actually a shift supervisor. They gave me the power. So I run on coffee and customer interactions all day, every day. I am a wife and a proud pet parent. I have 2 chinchillas, 4 cats, 2 dogs, and 3 chickens, and they take up a majority of my free time. I've been working with Austin since January now. He chose me for a New Year's giveaway, and now he can't get rid of me. I just keep coming back. A little bit like a cold in that way, I suppose. And yeah, this pretty much me. I'm from Nebraska, so if you don't know where that is, it's the exact middle of the country. So I'm just hiding out, and y'all are all around me.
I love it. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, no. And like I love that you said that because like it's crazy looking back on like how like our like coach client relationship kind of like started just because it was just by chance. It was by like the most random of chance like ever. Like I think because I was well, Amanda was a client of mine.
Yep.
Right. And that's how you kind of came into contact with me, right? Like was like through her or like a friend of
Yeah.
hers or like she encouraged you to like what happened?
It was, you had posted that giveaway for like a New Year's New You get on the trend thing.
Yeah.
And Amanda had tagged me and like a half dozen of our other mutual friends. And I had been talking this big game about how 2021 was going to be the year and I was going to do it and did it. And she was like, all right, do it then. I was like,
Called your ass out.
I was
She was like, all right, talking big, let's go.
I'm like, no, this isn't what I meant. But then I had to do it. And I was like, whatever, I won't win. And then I did. And
Yeah, and then you
yeah.
did, and it was awesome. Well, and let's touch on that a little bit because like you won because and part of the like for those of you guys that don't know that are new or maybe didn't like see that post back then because it was like in December, it was around New Year's. I was doing like a New Year, New You like giveaway for some coaching and some programming and things like that, and the basis of the giveaway was like whoever like tells me like why they deserve this or why they should get this, like I'm gonna pick the best answer that I feel is most deserving, and then you get it. And that's kind of how it went, and that's how it was. And Leah is like she has like if you don't follow her, like she is a very good writer, like a very good writer. She writes a ton and like is like I wish I had that level of just like I don't know like journaling ability because like I like I sometimes I struggle to write just my posts in a day, but like but she wrote me and sent me a message, and I think this is a good segue as to what that message, some of the details of it was, and if you guys are watching right now, you can see in the title of this live stream was related to IVF and related to having a baby and Project Baby Russell and all that. So do you want to like elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had messaged and wanted to do this because my husband and I have been battling infertility for now it's over 6 years. And it's male factor infertility. 1/3 of infertility cases are from the male side of the equation. And that would be our situation with my husband. And so to overcome that, our only treatment option that would give us a realistic opportunity to have children is utilizing IVF.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to date completed it 3 times and it has yet to work. And the big downside for that is even though the problem stems from my husband, IVF is extremely a female forward situation. And I take a lot of hormones and I go through a lot of treatments. And over 2.5 years of doing this, I'd put on around 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it was the hormones. Some of it was just eating because I wasn't, hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I'd put on a lot of weight. And we realized the more weight I put on, the less my body would react to the meds. So then I would need more meds, which is very expensive, but it's also a lot more pressure on your body.
Mm-hmm.
And my doctor had said, all right, well, when we're going to do this again, we're going to switch X, Y, and Z. We're going to totally redo this, but I need you to get back to a lower weight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. I get it. And it ended up being something like 42 pounds I had to lose. And I'd been trying to do it on my own, but it just was not working. It just wasn't good. The ways I was going about it were not healthy. They were not anything I could maintain. And so when I had messaged Austin, I had said, hey, here's the thing. The only thing that is stopping me from having the chance at being a mother is that I need to lose 42 pounds. And I've been trying to do it for a year, and I need help because I can't do it alone. And so that's kind of how we connected and how I suckered you into my inner circle.
I wouldn't call it you suckering me into it. I remember reading that, and it like, and you know, I probably had over, I don't even remember, like probably like 30 or 40 like of some of the most like heart wrenching, like heart, like tug at the heartstring, like messages and stuff. But like just something about your message, like really, like not only did it tug on the heartstrings, right, but it also it stood out. Like it stood out. Like, and I was just like, there's just something about it. I had like a gut feeling that was like, you know, that was the one, that was the message that, you know, should win. And like, you know, I fully stand by that, because I mean, it's been an amazing, like, because shit, that was back in January, right? Like, I mean, now what? It's July, and we're working together, and you've been killing it, and you've been crushing it, and you've been like making headway towards your goals, and we can talk about that in a little bit, in more detail. But yeah, there's just something about that. It was just like, you know, and for those of you that follow me, like, I mean, you guys probably know, like, I'm not a super, like, you know, religious person by any means, but like something about it was like the universe was kind of like speaking to me when I was reading that message. I was like, that's definitely the one. And so, and it paid off, like in so many ways, just seeing you, you know, grow as a person, and like mindset, physically, emotionally, in regards to fitness and nutrition, has just been an awesome journey for, I'm sure for you, but also for me as like a coach. It's been super cool to see, you know, see that like play out and develop. And so, yeah, no, cool. And so I guess for those of you that are watching right now, before we get too far into this interview, I'm, I guess, formally announcing that I'm going to do a post about it too later. But so what we're doing, we're doing a merch launch. Prechtelevate Performance is doing a merch launch, which is going to be for IVF awareness. And it's, I hired a graphics designer, and we're doing a shirt. It's basically going to be running for, I'm not sure how long I want to run it for, but we're going to run it probably for the month of month of July and like half the month of August, and do that for these next like 4 weeks basically. And all proceeds for purchases of the merch, all proceeds are going to be going towards Project Baby Russell, which is basically IVF for Leah this fall, and her husband, and it's going to be awesome. And so all proceeds from that are going to be going towards that, and so that way we can, you know, make Project Baby Russell you know, happen. So yeah, I'm hopeful, I'm excited for it. So I just wanted to make that announcement. I'm gonna do a big post about it later, but it's gonna be cool, and I'm super stoked about it because the shirts are pretty damn cool. I'm pretty excited about it. I got shout out to my friend and graphics designer Laura. Laura Estrada, she kicked ass on it. So but anyways, back to the interview. But I just wanted to make that a note, just so people who are watching, in case they you know, have to dip later, they got that message. So but yeah, anyways, so yeah, so before you and I worked together, you know, what was your like biggest struggle with your journey?
For me, weight has been a lifelong battle for me. I was always an overweight kid. And going into adulthood, I experienced that too. And I'm a very body positive person. I've never minded being quote unquote fat. That's not, it's not a bad thing. I don't hate it, but I have had parts of my life where it did hold me back from things that I wanted to do. And that's when it was bothering me. You know, it didn't have to do with the way I looked or the size of my clothes. You know, those things didn't matter. But as a kid, I couldn't partake in certain sports because I couldn't keep up with the other kids, and I would get bullied for it. And then, going into adulthood, I was struggling to work retail because I couldn't stand for 6 hours at a time without being in immense pain.
Mm-hmm.
And these were just things I personally experienced as a result of my weight. So I've tried all sorts of things. I mean, going back to like fifth grade, I did Weight Watchers. I did a diet where I basically ate like zero fat. Everything was fat free.
Mm-hmm.
I did basically like zero carbs, keeping it as low as possible. I did HCG drops in high school where I was putting them under my tongue in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Weight Watchers so many times. And
Mm-hmm.
these things, they would work. And then I would quit doing whatever it was, and I would immediately gain the weight back. And it made no progress. Nothing ever stuck because it wasn't really something you can permanently implement.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a gastric bypass when I was 19. I used to be 350 pounds. At the moment, I am 260.
Mm-hmm.
And so I maintained a lot of that weight loss. I had gotten to, I think, 230 at my lowest. And my surgery is something I am able to rely on. And it does help me lose weight going forward. I mean, that's kind of a cheat I always have built in, but it's not a cure-all. If I
Mm-hmm.
eat horrible things all the time, that's not going to stop me
Yeah.
from not making my goals. And so I really needed something to teach me how to fuel and utilize my body and the way
Mm-hmm.
that's most efficient. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why this has worked for me, because I can use my surgery, I can use my tiny tummy, and I can fuel it in proper ways. And
Yeah.
that's really something I never knew how to do. I never learned how to do that as a kid. And I
Yeah.
finally know.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's one of those things too. And so like I know a lot of people, and like I've had several friends in the past that have had, gastric bypass. And I think it's like an excellent tool that can be used to your advantage if it's used in a constructive way, and if it's used properly. I think it's an amazing thing. There's a lot of times people are I've had conversations with people on Instagram or on Facebook, and a lot of times they'll message me and they'll be like, "Hey, like they almost have like a sense of shame, or they feel like I'm not going to like them because they had gastric bypass." But it's like, and maybe they've just had bad experience in the past with other people kind of being dicks about it or something like that. But it's one of those things. It's like it's a proven tool that works, and by all means, like if it's deemed like necessary or like useful, like I feel like people should take advantage of it if that's what they want for themselves, right? So and it's one of those things too, like it's crazy that, and the reason why I was bringing that up is like it's crazy, there's so many people that I've I've known in the past that have had gastric bypass that weren't taught about nutrition properly, or were kind of like rushed through the system of it all just to get them out on the other side of their surgery. And because they didn't have that proper nutrition, or that, that not necessarily schooling, but teaching on it, like, or continued education on it, like it didn't serve them the purpose that they wanted it to serve them in the first place.
Oh yeah, because my training beforehand, they had said we need you to get, I think it was something like 160 grams protein in a day. They're like, you need to have that, otherwise you're not going to lose weight. But then there was absolutely no teaching on how to do that,
Yeah.
what foods have protein,
Yeah.
anything like that. So I really needed this program to teach me, because I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It's just, and the thing is too, is like, what's awesome about like flexible dieting is like it's so much more sustainable, like long term, for like long term goals, and like for being able to actually like enjoy your life. Cause like a lot of times, like what I mean, for the most part, what ends up happening is like people, I don't know, it causes like this, like sometimes like it's a fear of missing out, or it's just like not being able to go like enjoy yourself or have fun with friends or go on trips, or because you're like so overly restricted that you have this like fear of missing out, or there's like this like sustainability issue where you can't be consistent with it because it's not a long-term solution or a long-term plan that you can make a lifestyle out of. And because of that, like people fall off a lot of times, which is like, I guess, yeah, which is tough, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely tough. The thing I've enjoyed is, like when I'm at home and I'm super focused, I track everything in my Fitness Pal. I see where my macros line up, and I know. But if I'm going out of town, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to track today. That's fine. But I now have 6 months of tracking, so I
Yeah.
see something and I look at it, I'm like, I know where this falls. And it's a little off, but my estimation, I now have that knowledge built in that I can still make the good choices without having to like feel embarrassed about inputting things on my fitness pal in front of my friends. I just know it now, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's the cool thing too, is like, and so that's something too, is like doing this for a long enough period of time, like doing it for being consistent with it, doing it, 4 6 months, like you're literally building these habits and these skills that are, and the ability to be mindful of those things, like in the field or like whenever you're out, like, on vacation or whenever you're, traveling or things like that. And like, it helps like build that profile like in your head of like, what's in certain foods and what's not, and just making a concerted effort over time, like, doing this like over and over again, like for that, that first like, 3 to 6 months, like now you can do it. Like now it's like it's a skill, it's built into you. And I think that that's something that's really cool that not a lot of people realize, because I think it's intimidating at first to try to learn about this stuff, right? Like it's scary. It's a lot. The learning curve might be a little steep at first, but like, you went from, not having the base or not having the knowledge that you have now to where you're at now. And it's one of those things. It is like, could you allow, like, talk about, like what it was like at the start versus where you're at right now, like how you feel like confidence wise in terms of like, your mindset around food and things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I started, I was putting everything into my fitness pal and I was just overwhelmed with how I wanted to make everything match up and be perfect. And I wanted to always have these ratios. And it was very overwhelming because I didn't really understand. But as I've done it more, I now know ways to get more protein. If I eat a veggie burger, there's this like flat bread that has protein in it. I like it. And it
Yeah.
has protein that bread doesn't. And so I found all these little tiny hacks like that. And I know I eat pretty much the same thing for breakfast every day. I get it at work. I figured out one food item at work that's low calorie, high protein. I'm like, great, I'll have that for breakfast every day. I came up with a routine for my lunch. And the way that kind of does is it stacks my day where I got all this protein in. So for a night, I can have whatever my husband wants. And we can still kind of connect over a meal without him feeling like he needs to follow my diet plan.
Yeah.
And so I kind of learned different ways to stack my day. And so now when I go to the grocery store, I'm not scanning everything. I'm not really reading labels unless it's something new. I know what's going to get me the nutrients that I want for my day. And I'm just able to go about it. So you're always thinking about it, but it's not overwhelming where I'm sitting there taking a big portion of my day planning out my food. It's just a couple quick minutes, but I'm doing this, this, and this, and then we're good to go. It's so much simpler now. So much simpler.
I love that you said that, because I feel like a lot of times like people do get overwhelmed by it at the beginning, because they're like, oh my gosh, like this is taking so much time. Like, like I don't like doing this. Like I don't, I don't have the time to do it, which I think that everybody has the time to do it, but it's one of those things that, at the beginning we, whenever it's like, it's learning anything new, like, right. Like you're not going to just like, if you've never played basketball before, if you've never, like, I don't know, like played chess before, so some other like habit or like some other like hobby or skill or something like that, like you're not gonna be good at it first. Like you're not, like everybody sucks at something at first, and you just over time get better and better by being consistent with it. And I think that like, and I love that you said that, because it has gotten a lot easier for you over time. Like you have built that skill up, and it's something that, if those people that, try, if those people that first started, just would have stuck with it over time, or would have just kept trying at it, they would have been they would be in the position that you're in right now, where it's like, it's a lot easier, because you've built that habit and you've built that skill up. So yeah, no, I like that.
So simple. I still get my Starbucks every single day. I get one free and a free food item every day for being an employee right now. And I'm not a dumb person. I am going to get that free. Because free food, you don't say no. And I'm able to do that. This is like 200 calories, I think. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to plan that into my day because I want it.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's not like I'm eating carrots for the rest of the day. It's fine.
Yeah, and you're able to fit those things into your day to day, because you understand how flexible dieting works. Like you understand how macros work. You know what's in certain things, and I think that that's such a cool. And I think that's a skill set that I feel like so many people would just benefit from learning about. I honestly feel like they should teach flexible dieting in public school. I think it would solve a lot. I think it would help a lot of people out, just long term. Because I mean, I remember like in school, like, you know, they're like, this is a carb, this is a fat, this is a protein, this is what they kind of do, but they didn't actually like. It wasn't like real world applications of those things. It wasn't like,
No.
no, it was like I took like I took an elective home economics class, that was like, it showed you how to read a nutrition label, but that was it. Like, it didn't tell you like why you needed to know about those things or like or anything. It was just it's I think there's definitely like a knowledge gap there, in you know, the public education system that needs to be filled. But until then, I'm gonna try and help fill that knowledge gap, I guess. So
And like the food pyramid, they'd be like, all right, bread and pasta is bad for you, don't eat it. I'm like, that's not.
it's not true. And the crazy thing is like all of the food pyramid and like a lot of those things that we were taught growing up, in like health class, those textbooks were funded by like cereal companies and the sugar industry and stuff like that. Like, you'll notice like there's like a 10 or like a there's like 10-year cycles where like for 10 years it was like fat is horrible, don't eat fat, like it's gonna like kill you. And then the other 10 years is like carbs and bread and shit, like those are terrible for you, don't do it. And then you look and it's like, oh well, all of their textbooks were paid for by, and the studies were paid by like General Mills and shit. Like it's like it's like,
Oh.
okay, yeah, it's like, okay. So yeah, no, it's crazy. But yeah, so when we I want to change, I guess, change subject here for a second. Like, so when we first started working together, like, what were some of the things that you were like, you know, nervous about or like scared about or like hesitant about? Like, what was like, because you know, you ended up winning, like, you know, that the giveaway. And so like, you know, you had this, so you joining was maybe a little bit of a different situation than somebody who, you know, like reached out to me or something like that in a sense. But like, you know, for you, what was kind of like, you know, what was
Yeah,
scary?
the first day that I got like a peek at what the program actually was, I hysterically cried in my bedroom and told my husband, "There's no way I can do this."
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I feel such immense guilt because this man is donating his time and his resources, and I can't do this. Like
Yeah.
I messaged my friends. I was like, I'm gonna fail. I can't do this because it was two things. One, I have never worked out in my life.
Yeah.
Ever. I had a gym membership and all I did was run on the treadmill for hours. So the idea of doing squats, that's for the Kardashians, not me. I was like, no. And then the other thing was, I saw my protein goal was, I think it was like 175 to start. And I was like, there is no blasted way. I'm a vegetarian and I'm a self-admitted, not a very great vegetarian. So my protein, not that hot, and 175 was like impossible. And I just panicked because like there's no way. There's just no way. I'm not going to do all these squats and I'm not going to get in all this protein and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, that was the great thing because once I like opened up and told you those concerns,
Yeah.
we talked through it. We made adjustments, and like I
Sorry, what? You cut out for a second there. I think you're muted right now. Let's see.
back.
Oh, now I can hear you. Yeah, now
I had a phone call come through.
Oh no, you're fine.
But yeah, like we worked together, and I told you what I was scared of, and where we could, we made adjustments, and where we were like, this is something that has to be done. You taught me how to do it and how to just start small and be like, I'm gonna do one squat and then one more, and when I can't do any more, I can stop. It doesn't have to be the full 24 that's on the plan. And I was able to do it. I just had to start and actually do it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's one of those things too. And like a lot of times people get well, you get overwhelmed. Like, right. Like a lot of times whenever you join something new or you see, and that's kind of like one of the negatives about more like cookie cutter type of style of like plans, or like, you know, trying to figure things out, or like following, you know, something that's not like customized, or something that's not like, you know, like that doesn't grow with you or doesn't build and progress with you as you progress too. Because everybody's at different levels, right? Like the same plan, you know, yeah, you can see some results, and yeah, you might see some progress if you follow the same plan as somebody else that they bought from the same person or whatever, right? Like that, you can see some results potentially, but like there's also like the mental and emotional aspect of just like knowing that it's going to be okay, knowing that it's going to be like adapted to you, or knowing that you're going to be like, you know, capable of following through with it. That I think stops a lot of people's or kills a lot of people's dreams or journeys before they even actually begin. And so like for you now, like, cause you know, you, like you just said, like you never worked out before, like coming from somebody who really never like strength trained in the past, like to where you're at now, like, let's tell them a little bit of like I guess some of the progress that you've seen. Cause like you're able to do a lot of the things now that you had never tried before in the past.
Oh yeah, definitely. The big one I think of is walking lunges. Um,
Yeah.
the first, my first, I want to say like my first 8 weeks doing those. I mean, I would just have sweat pouring down my face. I could not get through the full set. I'd have to stop and take a break. I mean, like they were the devil. I hated them so much. And now they're actually one of my favorites. I actually enjoy them a lot, and I can do them for a lot longer. Or I could do more in a rep, and you know, just like that part of me is so much stronger now. When I started with like planks, my first one I held for 6 seconds and like collapsed on the floor
I
like face
remember.
plant.
I
And
know. I remember you telling me about
I was
that.
like, this is so embarrassing. I should be able to do this for 30 seconds. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna do it 6 seconds at a time until it adds up to 30. And
Yeah.
I can do it for like 45 now. Um,
How
so
crazy is that? How crazy is
yeah,
that?
it's
Like,
it's absolutely wild how much stronger I've gotten, and it's something where I used to be very anxious or maybe even dreadful about it, and now it's something that just it does bring me a sense of like control and like peace when I'm
yeah.
able to do my workouts. I'm like, I did that. I am capable, and it's very fulfilling for me to work out now, and it's not an anxiety thing anymore.
Yeah, and I love that, and I think that that transformation, like, and that's all. Like, there's definitely like some physical things that have happened. Like you like the body recomposition has been like crazy. Like for you, it's been awesome. Like because since we've worked together, uh, you've you're down. Is it 28 pounds total, or is it 28 pounds since we started working together? I was trying to remember.
It's like 37 total, and I think
Yeah.
26 or 28 with you.
Yeah. Which like that in and of itself is insane. Like that's crazy. Like that's such a big difference. And like the amount of work that you put in has been insane to like get to where we are right now. And because what how many pounds shy are we from your IVF goal? We're
5.
only 5, which is pretty awesome. That's pretty
5
damn
is real
awesome.
close.
Yeah, like that's really, really close. And because when are you guys thinking about getting IV starting like October or
We're thinking October. Our deductible and stuff resets in October, so I think we're gonna kind of wait to do it all till then, just because
yeah,
financially that's what makes sense.
yeah.
So I got a few months to prepare. We do have a few vacations coming up, so I'm hoping to kind of maintain or fix any mistakes
We're gonna
when
get
we get
there.
when we get back. But yeah,
We're
we're hoping October.
I'm so freaking excited for you guys.
I can't wait.
I'm freaking like at any time like I start thinking I'm like this is such a cool like opportunity to like I don't know like I'm being a dad and being like a parent like it's one of those things that I've never known the struggles that like parents that and or people that are wanting to become parents like struggle with, right? Like I
Mhm.
like it's something that I can empathize with, but I will never truly know that struggle. And it's and getting to know you and getting to know like your guys's journey in this has been something that's been eye opening to me. Like because I've never had friends that I know of that struggle with that before.
Right,
I've
right.
never known anybody, and so it's one of those things that it's made me recognize my own like the privilege that it is to be a parent because not everybody has it as easy to become parents as I have, and it really makes you appreciate what you have more. But it also like whenever I heard about your guys' story and things like that, I was just like what an incredible way to like make an impact in somebody's life to help you know help
Oh yeah.
help make that happen. And I just think that yeah, I don't know, I'm just super fucking excited for you guys
I
to
can't wait. When we started using the Project Baby Russell hashtag, I mean, some of it is definitely fundraising because unfortunately finances is the
yeah,
biggest hurdle. It's extremely expensive to do this, but it's also a big thing about the mental support. I know that I could not have done this without all my friends
yeah,
checking in on me. I'm like, when this does happen, like I want you all to know Like it's yeah, it's me. I did the shots, me and my husband, but it's because of you guys. We would have
Yeah.
given up a long time ago. So, anyone who has taken part or donated even $1 or messaged me or whatever it is, like when that baby comes, know that like that's because of you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I would have given up long ago. And I mean, I don't know how that feels for other people, but I imagine that's pretty cool because it's pretty cool for me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. It's so cool. And like I think I think it's a matter of not if but when. I feel like it's just a matter of time. And like I am very I feel blessed to have been just even like a small part of help, like whatever part it is. Like I'm just happy to have been able to like be to know you guys and to be a little bit of part of it, I guess. So
Yeah, it's the neatest opportunity. I've made so many connections because of it, and I'm like, this isn't how I would have chosen the path to parenthood, but I mean, if it's the one I gotta walk, I got really, really lucky with my support system.
yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. Yeah. So, for you, like, kind of, I guess, getting back to like, the mindset and the fitness and things like that, like, like in terms of like like, nutrition and things like that, like for you, like mindset wise, like how would you say your mindset has changed since when we started or before we started working together till now? Like, how do you think things have like shifted for you?
Yeah, the biggest thing for me was when I started, it was all about making this specific number for my doctor. I was like, I'm doing this to lose the weight for the doctor. And like that was motivating enough and that was fine. But as I've started to do this, I have fully accepted it and I'm excited for the fact that no, this isn't just for my goal for the doctor. Like I plan to use this during treatment. I plan to use it ever after. I plan to use it, for the rest of my life. It's something I want to teach my children.
Yeah.
It's just it went from being a tool to lose weight to being how I want to live the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, that's a crazy jump, but I mean, that's it. It is easy to follow. It makes sense, and
Yeah.
it's customizable to what your life is at right now.
Yeah, I love it, and I wanted to say too, because didn't your doctor, like, they actually were so impressed by like the body recomposition that's happened, that they actually shifted your like goal. They're like, we could actually do this sooner because of all the like, because you're such a badass and you've been like putting on
Yeah,
so much
they had
muscle.
originally said 250 because the way I had carried and lost my weight before, 250 would have my body fat percentage low enough.
Yeah,
And at one of my recent check-ins, I told them my weight, my estimated body weight percentage, things like that. And she goes, "Oh, well, we can do this at 260 then. Like you've
yeah,
lost enough fat." And I was like, "Wow," because a lot of times when I lose weight, it's very quick and a lot of it is like water weight and it's just not good weight loss. And
yeah,
this is actually like I actually lost real fat this time. And so
yeah.
they upped it 10 pounds, which I mean is fantastic.
That's so cool, and that's something that not a lot of people realize. I mean, whenever they're losing weight, because there's not necessarily a there's in my mind there's kind of like a right way to lose weight and a wrong way to lose weight, in a sense, like kind of like you know I'm always of the mindset of slow, steady, and sustainable, just because it's like you're gonna be able to be able to actually like keep the weight off and maintain it, and also you're not going to lose a ass load of muscle in the process. You're going to be able to like maintain that healthy body composition while you do it, and maybe even improve it during it, like in this instance. And so it's one of those things that a lot of it's goal dependent, but also it's like if you can't keep the weight loss once you want, or keep your progress once you've made it, it's like a lot of, for in my mind, it's like, what's the point of even like doing it in the first place if it's just gonna, if you're gonna gain it all back and be extremely stressed out and upset with yourself and things like that, because that's what happens a lot of times, is it ends up creating more harm than good, because people tried going that fast kind of shortcut route.
Oh yeah, that's what I did all of 2019 during COVID. I was like, I'm gonna do this, and I would lose 10 pounds and gain 20, and lose 10, and I think I ended up 30 pounds last year, and I was dieting for half the year. But the second I
Yeah,
stopped doing whatever this crazy cut was, it all came back tenfold. I mean, it was just nuts.
I know. It's It's crazy how it works like that, huh?
Yeah, it's wild.
What so outside of fitness and outside of you know, in I guess out like, you know, workouts and strength training and nutrition like aside, like what do you think like so far has been like the biggest change in your life that you've seen?
Um, Mostly just it's really taught me my own strength. I've
Yeah.
always kind of been someone that I assume the worst in myself. I'm like, I can't do that. No matter what it is, I assume I can't do it. And through this, I have not been perfect. No. But it's like even when I fall or I take a misstep, I've been able to pick myself back up, take care of anything that went wrong, and do better. And
Yeah.
I'm able to see that reflecting in other places in my life too, where I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, yes, you can.
Hmm.
You can do anything you want to. So like my physical strength, yeah, but also it's like my mental strength and my confidence and all that. I believe in myself now.
Yeah.
And this was a big teaching moment for me.
I love that. I love that. I think that that's definitely a golden nugget right there. Takeaway for those that are watching right now, or listening is like, you know, it's not about being perfect, right? It's not about being perfect, and it's not about, you know, never like falling off the wagon or anything like that. Because everybody falls off the wagon. Like I fall off the wagon, like you fall off the wagon, like we all fall off the wagon. But it's one of those things. It's having that like you have to have the belief that you're gonna get there. Like because if you don't actually believe that you can do it, or if you don't, or if there's like, you know, everybody has like doubts, right? Everybody has self-doubt. Sometimes everybody has that little voice in their head that, you know, questions whether they can do it. But like having that like consistent belief that I am going to do this, I'm going to get there. I don't, you know, it may take a while, or, you know, it may take longer than I want it to, but I'm going to get there someday. Like having that belief, that's huge. That is such an important thing that a lot of people might be lacking right now, or might not be at the point in their life where they've built that up enough yet. But if I've learned anything, like I think that your strength, like one of those like big strengths that you have like at least I've seen develop and grow like since we've been working together is just your ability to, and I guess like a better word is tenacity, like your tenacity, like to be able to like pick yourself back up and be like, all right, I'm getting back on the wagon. Like, yeah, last week wasn't perfect, but here I am. I'm showing back up. I'm calling myself out on this shit. Like, if any of our client, if any of my clients are watching right now, or anybody who's in the community right now, they know like Leah calls herself the fuck out in the group. That is your superpower. It's one of your superpowers because not very many people have the ability to recognize when they mess up, let alone call themselves out on their own bullshit sometimes. Like because if once you do that, you're able to actually do something about it, and you're actually able to start to, you know, work towards being better about it. And so I think that that's like, you know, that's one of your strongest suits is just being able to call yourself out on shit.
Oh yeah, oh I definitely do. I mean, part of it is because I know someone's gonna follow up with me and ask me like, "Hey, did you do it yet, or are you still being
Yeah.
lazy?" And so I'm
Yeah.
like, a lot of times I'll go and call myself up, be like, I haven't done this, and immediately get up and do it because I'm like, someone's gonna ask me
Yeah.
tomorrow, and I
Yeah.
don't want to have to say, I was a potato again.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
want that. So, it's definitely a tool I utilize for sure.
And it's a great tool. It's such a smart tool. Like, and I do that for myself too. Like I've done that. I do that for myself where, you know, I'll make a post about something where I'm like, all right, I'm doing this thing, or maybe I'll talk about it on my story, or maybe I'll bring it up. You know, maybe if I don't want it to be something that's super public, I'll, you know, bring it up amongst like my family or whatever, and I'll be like, I'm doing this shit. Like, you know, case in point, like, you know, whenever I was trying to like quit smoking like marijuana, like I was like, you know, I'm calling myself out on this. Like I told my family, I told like close friends, and then eventually I ended up bringing it up in the community. I was like, hey guys, like I've been struggling with this shit. Like this sucks, but I'm doing it. Like, and some of that is to hold yourself more accountable. And that's something that's awesome is that you know, that's what something else that I really love about the community is that we're it's a place that you can lean on, like, and also like it's an added layer of accountability to help you, you know, stick to your guns and stick to doing the shit that you said you were going to do in the first place. Because, you know, you know, people are watching, right? People are watching, but also like, you don't want to you don't want to let people down. And those people aren't going to let you let yourself down either in those hard times whenever
Yeah.
we might be struggling sometimes. And so, um, yeah, I love that about that. And I think, you know, something else I wanted to touch or talk about for you, because like you're you know, very active in the community, right?
Yeah.
Like what for you, what does the community like do for you or serve you, or how do you, what do you like about it?
I like it because it's somewhere where I just feel accepted. Um,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know, I can post my update photos where all my skin is on display. I got a lot of skin. Like I said, I used to be 350 pounds. I got to 220 pounds. I got back up to 300 again. So my skin's been through some stuff and it's
Yeah.
not quote unquote pretty. And there are a lot of places where if I were to show it off, people make negative comments.
Mhm.
And it's just in the community. I started off with the basis of I'm going to post these pictures and you guys are going to see them because this is my body and this is what we're working with and I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
And the initial reaction to that, overwhelmingly positive, no matter what the commenter looked like. I think we're all biased and think that people that look like Austin are going to be like, oh, gross. And even the people in that group who are absolutely jacked were just commenting on how great I was doing and what I was
Yeah.
accomplishing. And there was no judgment. And so
Yeah.
I've continued to just do that the past 6 months, whether it's like mental health or struggling with binge eating. I have binge eating disorder. It's been hard. And so if I ever need support, I go in there with that. And, you know, whoever comments, it depends on what the topic is. But there's always someone there who's willing to be like, hey, I see you. I hear you. This isn't shameful. Let's get through this.
Yeah.
And so the community is something I rely on, whether I'm doing great or doing bad. Like I have people to
Yeah.
celebrate with. I have people to
Yeah.
dig
Mm.
trenches with. It's great.
Yeah, I love that, and like I totally, I love the community because it's such a supportive place. It's whether like you said, whether it's like, you know, in the group, I always encourage people to share wins, right, and like to focus on the positive shit. But also, it's a place to like, you know, it's like a rock to lean on at times. It's a place to be able to be like, hey guys, like I'm not doing so hot right now. Like you know, I am just putting this out there because, you know, maybe you're struggling with this shit too right now, but look at but because of that, you know, people see both sides, right? Because of that, it creates this like authenticity of like, hey, like they struggle just like me sometimes, or hey, like their life isn't perfect either, yet they're, look at them, they're still showing up and still, you know, making progress towards their goals, even if it's not perfect. Not everybody's life is perfect, and I think that, you know, having a place where you're consistently being shown that it's still possible, even if you are struggling sometimes. Like, I think that that's a powerful reminder for a lot of people. Like, hey, like I can fucking do this too. And you've been an inspiration to a lot of people, including myself. But you've been an inspiration to a lot of people in the group, like time and time again. Like you know, I don't even know. I can't even count on my two hand, like it easily, like like 20, 30, 40, probably plus people have messaged me from time to time, either from within our community or outside of the community, and just being like, oh my gosh, like, you know, Leah is so freaking inspiring. Like I saw your post about Leah, or I saw a post Leah put out about her journey and what she's been doing and everything. Like, and it's inspiring as hell. Like, and it makes me want to do better. And it's like, I think that that's so cool that when, you know, we share our journey and when we share that like authentic light within ourselves, it allows others to recognize that, you know, they can do it too, or that they can actually accomplish their goals as well. And I think that that's like pretty badass and beautiful thing.
Oh
um
yeah, definitely. That's why I try to share the good and the bad because I've had some pretty great results by now. Not to toot my own horn. And
yeah.
so when new people join the group, they're like, "Wow, you've done so great." And I'm like, "Buckle in, guys. I'm gonna show you it's not always so great, but you
Yeah.
can still get there."
Yeah.
Like I want them to know it. It may look really pretty, but it's not always pretty in the middle of it, and that it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It truly
exactly.
doesn't matter.
Exactly. Life is chaos sometimes.
It really is.
Life can be tough sometimes, but just because it's tough, it doesn't mean that we can't still show up for ourselves in some capacity. And I think that you've done an excellent job of truly, like, you know, embodying that, you know, embodying that, I don't know, whatever, like saying, or like that quality, or that, like, you know, that ability, like, and that's definitely like a superpower of yours. I think that's another reason why too, like that we like connect so well, like coach client, just because like we're, you know, being honest and we're being like, you know, authentic about it, and we're not like we're not bullshitting about it. We're just like, hey, like, you know, I'm struggling right now with this. Okay, cool. Like, let's figure it out. Let's talk about it. Let's, you know, work through it. Let's not beat ourselves up about this shit. And we can be honest about, you know, what our struggles are now. And, you know, I think that that's, and I've talked about, like, I've done a couple of posts in the past, like probably like last year. And I was like, these are my top 5 best, you know, these are the top 5 characteristics that like my clients that see the best results towards their goals have. And like, you know, lo and behold, you fucking have them. So it's one of those things that's like, wow, like coincidence? I think not. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. I just want to pull up a comment here real quick. It's from John. He's saying,
Thanks, John.
he's saying, keep kicking butt, Leah. Yeah, exactly. That's just what, and John's a client in the community. He's a badass. He's super supportive, and he's
John's one of those one that's ripped, and I'm always like, oh, God, look at this mess, this poor man.
John is fucking ripped. He's he's gonna be a jack grandpa. It's gonna be awesome one day.
He's gonna beat up anyone on the playgrounds mess with his kid. Be like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. Where's your dad?
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess, so we've been going on for a little while now. And so, you know, before we kind of let everybody go, for anyone, you know, that's listening to this right now and, you know, thinking about, you know, starting their own fitness journey, you know, what would you say to them? Like, what are some like closing remarks that you would, sorry, I got to pull this up too. I better not be a grandpa for a long time.
He's like, back it up.
He's like, hey. But anyways, some like closing remarks for people that you feel like would be, you know, that you would like to tell, you know, somebody that's just starting out or somebody that's thinking about starting a fitness journey, or what, or even maybe something you wish you would have told your, you know, the yourself at the beginning of this.
Yeah, I think that personally for me, I had always kind of struggled feeling like before I could start a real fitness journey, I had to look a certain way. You know, it's just speaking specifically, you know, as a plus size woman, you go to the gym and you get looked at and you're like, man, I really can't start doing all this weightlifting until I'm smaller because people are going to judge me. And so while not everyone who may come to you has that issue, that's something I know very personally is I felt a lot of pressure to be smaller before I took up space. And you do not have to be smaller. Take up your space. You are deserving of physical, emotional, mental space in this world. You know, you have one life to live. And if your goals include fitness and nutrition for any reason, whether it's to build muscle, to get smaller, to be stronger, whatever it is, just allow yourself to do it. And, you know, maybe this time you'll reach all the goals. Maybe this time you won't get there, but you'll learn a lot along the way. Whatever it may be, don't put it off. Just try. The worst thing that can happen is you end up in the exact same spot you were when you started. I mean, that's absolute worst. And you know what? You're already living your life this way, so who cares? But you know, on the opposite end of things, if it goes well and you find the program and the system and the trainer that works for you, you can start living that life that you wanted for yourself. And that's mine too. My goal has never been to be a super skinny person. That's just not what I want for me. I like being curvaceous. I like being who I am, but I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be able to run and catch my dog when she escapes. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting close. You know, and I want to be able to keep up with my toddlers when I have them. And so I can do that in the body that I have now. And I can do it. And so you can too, is really the point.
I love it. I think that that's an amazing way to end this. And I think that, you know, you're absolutely right. And that's something too, like you know, that's something I struggle with in terms of, you know, when people reach out to me and they message me, sometimes they think that I don't like them or whatever, or they think I'm gonna like be like, and it's probably based off of prior experience, just other people being jerks, people like, you know, and they're biased towards me because they've had people have bias towards them. And it's one of those things that it's like, I think that, you know, like, and I've said this a lot, and I that's why I love the community, is it's such a positive place. It's a body positive place. It's one of those things, and I've said it before, is like, you know, your weight doesn't define your worth. Like, and I like wholeheartedly believe that. And it's one of those things that, you know, like you said, like if you want to go do something, you don't have to wait. Like, you deserve to be at the gym, just like everybody deserves a seat at the table, right? Like everybody deserves a seat at the table. So it's one of those things that, and I love that you said that. So, cool. Other than that, Other than that, thank you for coming on today and going live with me and having this conversation and doing this little interview.
Been so
Other than
fun.
it's been a good time. It's been a good time for sure. And other than that, do you have anything else that you want to mention about like IVF? Because we're gonna, just as a reminder, in case you guys missed the beginning of this, we're doing a merch launch for IVF awareness, and all proceeds from the merch will be going towards Project Baby Russell for Leah and her husband's IVF treatment this fall. So yeah.
Yeah, I just want to throw out some fast facts. So, just so you know, 1 in 8 couples in the United States will experience infertility. 30% of that is female related, 30% is male related. The remaining 30% is unknown or a mixture of both factors. Only 3% of people diagnosed with IVF, with infertility, require IVF. There are a lot of steps in between there for a lot of people. So, if you're looking at this and you're like, hey, I've never met anyone with this, the fact is you probably have and you just weren't aware, because it is something that has a huge stigma about it. So if it's something you find interesting and you think that it's sad and it deserves support, be open about it, talk about it. Even if you do have children, you can be a part of the supportive community and say, hey, I'm here for the 1 in 8. And that really means a lot, because we are only 1 in 8. That means in a group there's going to be 7 of us who have no personal experience with it, and one voice is not nearly as loud as all 8. So
Yeah, I love
feel
that.
free to get involved. If you have any questions, if you're watching this, you're like, I'm interested, how can I get involved with awareness or research or stuff like that, you can totally message me at any time, and I can give you some resources on ways to help locally and within your state, to assist couples that need assistance. So
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Cool. Very cool. And that's part of later today, guys. I'm going to be doing a post about the merch, and on the back of the shirts that we're doing, it says prechtelevate for the 1 in 8, because 1, it rhymes, and 2, it's it makes sense,
it's
right?
perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah. I was like,
Love it.
when that popped into my head, I was like, oh, that is what we're putting on the back of that shirt, because that's like, it's perfect. It has it all.
It's
So
perfect.
it's literally exactly what it's supposed to be for. So yeah, cool. Other than that, Leah, I appreciate you getting on here with me today. If you guys are watching this at a later time, hashtag replay, let us know that you saw it. Drop a comment. Leave show some support. And like she just said, if you guys have any questions about IVF or IVF awareness and how to help, feel free to shoot her a message or leave a comment and say, I'm interested. And feel free to send me a link if you guys want to support her IVF journey this fall with the Project Baby Russell from the merch stuff. So yeah, other than that, guys, we will talk to you guys later. Have a good ass rest of your day, and we will talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.